Hello, hello, hello! Today we're going to be working on the shaders of the anime character, and we might get to the hair. That's probably going to be a bonus video, maybe. Uh, maybe not. I don't know. This is taking longer than expected. So, I've done a few things. Not much. I've cleared the scene a little bit. I got rid of my reference images because I don't need them anymore. If you want something for like the hair or reference of like colors, go ahead and throw those in. I named all my things. And I just added a basic outfit. It's basically, all I did was just change the color of this part. And I just named it cloth. So for the shaders, I'm just going to go ahead and name these temporary shaders to the correct thing. I'm also going to go ahead and change the eyelashes to the cloth color. Just have them be the same color. Color coordination. And then eye. So before we get started making the shaders, there is one thing we will need to do to get proper shading. So we have pretty good face topology for this character, but for stylized characters, it's not. You can see the shadows are a little bit wonky. We want to have pretty defined shadows. We want a lot of control over where they're going to be. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to make a very basic proxy mesh. And this proxy is basically an object that we're going to copy the normals from. Now, a lot of the fancy anime character makers will like paint like a texture-based proxy or shadow map. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what colors the normals represent. So we're just going to use the basic UV sphere proxy. I think it works pretty well. Pretty good. Okay. So I'm just gonna squiggle it up, shade smooth, scale it. And I'm quickly gonna go to object properties, viewport display, change it to wired. I want to be able to see better. What we want to do is we want it to fit the head, but not like too much extra space. Okay, I'm gonna name this proxy. If we apply this, if we end up applying the normal edit permanently, we shouldn't need the proxy anymore. But if you do like shape keys, then you're gonna have to keep the proxy object because you can't apply modifiers to objects with shape keys. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna increase that. Okay, so we're gonna need to go into the character. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make a vertex group because we only want the face to be affected by this. So I'm going to grab all these ones, go to vertex group, make a new one. I'm going to call it normie and assign. So these are going to be fully affected by the normal edit modifier. I'm also going to grab this row. I'm going to assign them at 25%. Mainly because I don't want just a random sharp drop off from sphere normals to the original. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's add it. Normal edit. Normal edit. I'm going to set the proxy as the object, but you're going to see it wants us to enable auto smooth. So we just go down here to object data properties, normals, auto smooth, and that looks cool, but it's not what we want. I'm just going to change this number to 45 because I think it helps with like the neck. But we go back here to our normal edit, go to mix, and for this vertex group, choose normie. Ta-da! 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 It's okay if you notice this weirdness in the eyes. We can fix it, but the shader we're going to use for this eye socket is not going to have any shadows, so it won't matter too much. But as you can see now, we have like really rounded normals, and it kind of makes the nose and stuff disappear, which kind of works because in a lot of anime, the nose is just like a little line. So if we turn it off, we can see what it was before, and then we can turn it back. And we go back over here. We can see what effect this has on the face. It looks a bit weird, especially because we're not using a toon shader right now. Ooh, spooky. But yeah. Okay, now we can get started on the shading. So I'm just gonna boop boop boop, join. I like to, I work in Eevee. I wouldn't recommend doing any of this stuff in, these handmade toon shaders I don't think work in, cycles, but I like to work in, like, the rendered shading so I can see what the light does, how the light affects things. So that's one thing. I wouldn't do that if I was in cycles, because if I show you real quick, it's got all these weird noises, it lags. It's real weird. So just go back to Eevee. So let's start with skin. Okay, so basic toon shader consists of 3 main things: a diffuse BSDF, a shader to RGB, and a color ramp. And this is basically all you need for the most basic of toon shaders. Now, this pretty much looks pretty normal. So what's happening, real quick, is that we're getting the lighting data. So yeah, lighting data where the shot is going. We're converting that shader data to color data. And we're using that color data to drive this color ramp. So what happens if I set it to constant, you can see that wherever it says shadow is black and wherever the light is hitting is white. And there's no in between. This is pretty common for toon shaders. So if I just introduce my light, yeah, this is the most basic toon shader. If you want, you can color it and just leave it at that. So yeah, you can do that and just do that. I, though, like to add a little fanciness to mine. So what I do is I keep this as black and white. And instead I use it as a mask. So basically, as a mask, it's going to be like the light color will be where the white is, and the shadow color will be where the dark is. I'll show you real quick. Mix. I'm going to mix, change that to factor, put that in. So basically, it's wherever the white was in this color ramp is now adding red, and wherever the black is now blue. See? That's what masks do. It's pretty cool. But what we're gonna need is we're gonna make a little fancy thing. So we're gonna need a gradient. And as you noticed, I'm working with just purely procedural stuff right here. I probably might do something different for the eyes. But if you have a texture map, you're gonna want to unwrap your character with the UV editing and all that fun stuff. So also, if you have a Node Wrangler, you can just use Control-T to get these. Otherwise, you just bring in a texture coordinate and a mapping. So I'm going to start by working with the primary color. That is not the right gradient angle, so I think 90-90. 90 in X and 90 in Y. If I just flip the colors, it's probably going to be easier to see if I just bloop it in here real quick. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of just doing to the back side has like a little color, so it's not just a perfectly flat. There just seems to be some dynamism. I can't English very well. It also kind of helps create like little. You can see where the chin ends. Kind of just helps create that. I guess it's similar to ambient occlusion, not really. And for the shadow color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this mix, get a darker color. Basically, I'm just going to mix it with a darker color to make sure, make it darker, so yeah. There we go. If you don't like this weird twisty twist, you can always just rearrange or invert this. But that's nothing fancy. I mean, that's just extra fancy. So I'm just going to copy this real quick. I'm copying it because I want to keep this ramp the same. What you could do is you could just put this in like a group node. That way it's consistent. But for basic, I'm just going to copy these. Go back into cloth, delete that, paste it. Boop. And then I'm going to adjust the color. Let's make it red. Dark red. Good. Also looks really cool on her eyelashes. Then you go to eye white. And I just want my eye white to be solid white because stylization. So I'm just going to just use RGB. I could use emissive, but if I enable bloom, that might glow. Let's see. If I enable bloom and type in emission, is it gonna? Oh, I didn't do anything. Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. Turn bloom off. So now let's work on the eyes. Let me think. I have a separate video on procedural anime eyes. So I'm just gonna steal an eye image I made for a different project. Boop. And yeah, it's black because these eyes aren't unwrapped, which is what you need to do if you're gonna use the texture. So I'm just gonna go to and go back to shading. Oop. It's really helpful when you're Unreal mapping to turn this on so you can see what you're doing. R180. Yeah. Ta-da! If you don't like the fact that they're facing opposite directions, what you always could do is go to this, apply the mirror, I think grab the other one and then just UV. Mirror. Is it X? Yep. Yep. There we go. Yay! Hopefully that wasn't too fast, and I think we do have time to work on the hair. But just in case this goes badly, I will pause this video and then pick up right again. So see you in a second. Thank you for watching this half. Bye! Hello! Long time no see! I gotta stop doing that every time I do a two-part video. Okay, so here we are. We're almost done. It's time to add the hair. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. One of the ways I do it most often is with curves. So what you can do with the curve is I like to work with path. The path. Actually, no. I'm going to get a path and I'm going to get a circle. Bring the circle up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this circle to define the shape of this path. So I'm just going to go back and edit the path. Bring it up here. Scale it down a bit. Go over to the object data properties, and for the bevel, I'm going to choose object, and I'm going to choose the circle. And you see it has defined the shape as a circle. So I just can scale the circle down a bit. I'm going to go into edit mode and edit the circle. So you can see as I edit this. I think I can, was it RY90? Ooh, no! No. Okay, never mind. I was going to try to make it so I could see it better, but nope. Basically, as I just edit this, it edits the shape. And people who are very good at this can do like multi-strands. That's pretty cool, right? I don't know how to do that very well, so I'm just sticking to like the basics. What happens if I move it up? Okay, yeah. So there a... Ooh, I don't know what that does. Nope. I'm just trying to pinch the thing. I just wanna... You know, just... There. Make it flat. Make it flat. Neat. Okay. As you can see, I've made a cool shape. Okay, now I'm going to make the hair. Now I usually do like the hair in like 2 to 3 parts, the back and the bangs at least, and sometimes I do a separate underlayer. I think what I'm going to do this time is back hair, bangs, and maybe like a ponytail or something. So I like using path because I don't like dealing with the tangents. That's just too much. If I hit Alt S, I can scale a point. So I usually always pinch the point at the bottom. So I'm just gonna select them all and just duplicate. It's kind of hard to work with it. Don't really like curves that much, but they're the best way to do this. Don't like curves that much. You can always grab the curve, L, and use tilt to determine which way it's facing. That. That's helpful a lot of times. And now I'm going to G. Now I gotta correct it because I did some weird funkiness. There goes my phone again. Goes my phone again. Always beeping when I don't need it to beep. So basically this is just a slow process of trying to get things to work. I'm going to duplicate this layer for reasons. Now I'm going to try to create an under support layer hair. And because I messed with the twisty, as you can see, it's messed some of these curves up. It's okay. It's just this one. I think that's pretty good. Now what I want to do is, actually I can just join these together again and mirror them. This will help me see what's going on. I will fix that later, I think, with the ponytail. But for now, I'm going to grab one of these, Shift E to duplicate, and separate it. This is going to be for the bangs, so I'm just going to click it, rotate, and align. head. That looks pretty neat. Definitely looks like it's from some show. I haven't seen the show, but so makes me think of some character from One Punch Man? I don't know. I have not seen. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna need to go back in here. We need one more row here. As well as we need to, there, perfect. And now just to finish this back side, so I'm just gonna grab this, do the same thing, separate, rotate, move, okay, that looks pretty good. Let me just what's gonna happen here is I'm also gonna grab it again, grab it, duplicate it, but this time I'm going to make this big. I'm gonna loop it like so. Just grab it, grab. Whoa, okay. We can fix that later. Move over here. Fix the tilt, because we messed the tilt up somehow. And just normal rotate this. I'm gonna duplicate, I'm gonna shrinky, rotate. And I think that looks pretty cool. It's like a hair bow. And we are done. Okay, not really. So what I do is, for weight painting, I usually convert it to a curve, or a mesh. But I'm just gonna go ahead and just get rid of the mirror. Get rid of the mirror. And then I'm going to convert to mesh. Convert to mesh. And convert to mesh. Select them all. Go in the modeling. I like to unsubdivide. And then I just reapply the mirror. Because if you apply it with the mirror while it's a curve, it will just apply the modifier, and it'll just be a hot mess. So now it's time to shade it. Okay, I can also delete this support curve. So let's go to shading. Why is it like this? I'm going to start with cloth, but I'm gonna duplicate it and make it a new one called hair. And I'm just gonna apply hair to all of it. Okay. Now what we're gonna do differently is we're not gonna use this. We're gonna use something cool. Cooler. Okay. So we're gonna wanna grab a noise texture and a texture coordinate. We don't need mapping, but we're gonna need generated. We're gonna need separate XYZ, and we're gonna just wanna put in, I think, Y. And just plop it in to see. I think I saw this from like the Lightning Boys shader for like the entropy. I don't think they used it for actual hair detail. Let me just check. Well, it's one of these. Is it Z? Or maybe it was X. It should be X, but I might be able to put it in the UV. Okay. Okay. Cool thing about curves is that when you apply them, they already kind of have this square UV. And it's a little bit of a hot mess, but it works for our purposes. So now you see we have like hair threads. This is good. I'm just gonna go to color ramp. The wrong thing. Color ramp. And I'm gonna set our darker to be dark red. And our lighter to be just plain old red. Bloop. And bloop. And then just plug it back in. And yeah. You kind of got it. This would look better if it had some sort of like entropy on it, but I forgot how to do that real easily. Also, one thing you can do, if you don't like all the weird shadows, is grab this, and you can always join them. And then just do normal edit, normals, and apply it to the proxy. And that way you have the same effect you do on the face with shading. And if you need to fix this, selection, and then join it. There. Perfect. And now we have an anime girl. Yay, we've done it. Little red goes a long way. If you want, you could let's go here. Apply, let's see, hair to it. Apply hair to it. And then the cloth, just choose like a different color. You can go all sorts of things. I just want to make the hair a different color. I want to make it, let's go with like a, yeah, that looks like the character I was thinking about. Like a blue and a darker blue. It's pretty cool. If you go to blue, you're going to need to switch this to blue. We can have it match the eyes more. Ooh, gosh, no. Turn that down. And then turn this one even further down. And then you probably need to make this one a dark green. But this should be a bluer green. Yeah. Well, now she looks Christmas. I did not mean to do that. Change it to blue. We don't need Christmas colors right now. Christmas is over. There. So we did it. We made an anime girl. Now clothes and stuff is another tutorial. I have procedural anime eyes is another tutorial. But if there's anything else you want to see, like rigging, let me know. But yeah, we're done. We did it. She looks pretty dandy. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye.